Hi again, yet another video to show you what to do with your leftover chicken from your chicken bone broth. We're going to make a delicious creamy coconut curry with fine trimmed green beans, onions, peppers, chicken bone broth chicken and some chickpeas as well. So that's next on Carlos Cooks. Okay, so you probably saw from my last video that we used a lot of my leftover chicken from my chicken bone broth to make a couple of delicious sort of snack style sandwiches that were really nice. And I've still got a lot left over because I'm making it every week. So we're going to do a curry with it today. So we're going to saute some onions and some red pepper and a little bit of garlic. And then we're going to add some trimmed French green beans to that, and some coriander and some curry paste with some creamed coconut milk, and it's going to be delicious. And we're going to serve that on a bed of rice. So without further ado, let's start by just warming up the frying pan. I was hoping to use my larger wok style pan, but unfortunately it wasn't compatible with the induction hob, so we've had to switch back to just a large frying pan. But what I'm going to do is put a little bit of olive oil in there. And then we've got some onion and red pepper that we're just going to start frying up, just to soften it. And we're going to add some green beans to that as well, and just give them a little bit of a cook through before we add the rest of the ingredients, just to soften them a little bit. You can parboil them, but not really necessary. Get away with just giving them a quick flash in the pan before we add the other parts of the curry. Now ideally, I think this would go nice with as a chicken korma. And I did try to get a chicken korma paste just to speed things up, but unfortunately my local supermarket was out of chicken korma paste, so I've gone for a straight tikka masala paste, but with the coconut milk and the extra garlic we're putting in, you're not going to notice much of a difference. Just going to switch this down a little bit. So we're just going to get a bit of heat on those, bit of colour, give it a bit of flavour, not too much. And then just, these are already trimmed, these French green beans, but they do have this little spiky end bit on the other end I like to get rid of. And then just to make them easier to eat, we're just going to halve those, and they're going to go straight in the pan as well. Just start warming all that through. This is very similar to another dish I like cooking occasionally. I do a totally sort of vegetarian version with butternut squash and green beans and chickpeas, and that's very delicious, very filling, and I usually make quite a large batch of that, some for my evening meal, and then the rest of it I freeze. I can just get that out at will. Okay, so next up, let's put a little bit of garlic in there. You can also add a little bit of ginger as well if you wanted to. Just for convenience sake today and speed, I'm just using a already prepared crushed garlic. I'm just going to hold that around a little bit. So it's getting a little bit smoky in here. I've not actually got the fan on over the cooker hood at the moment, just to keep the noise down a little bit. Right, so we're going to put some seasoning in there now as well with that at this point. A little bit of ground salt. A little bit of black pepper. And then a large sort of heaped dessert spoon of the curry paste. And we're just going to mix that all in together now, get those vegetables coated in that. And now the flavours start hitting you. Beautiful Indian spices coming out. And when I make the version with butternut squash, I just cube the butternut squash up and just give it parboil the cubes, quite large cubes. Parboil them for about 10 minutes on the stove. Just simmer them down just to tenderise them a little bit before they go in. Right, we're now ready for some chickpeas. I've got a large can, but we won't put all of them in. I shall just put a few. And then with the rest, I think we can make some hummus with that. I make my hummus with, I don't use tahini paste, I used to use normal peanut butter. Works exactly the same. A little bit of olive oil, blitz up the chickpeas. Right, that's starting to soften rather nicely now. The beans are just starting to soften up. Just a little bit longer. But we can put the coconut milk in now. Both the chickpeas and the coconut milk are organic from my local supermarket. Stir this all up, just let the heat come through into that. Now the chicken, because it's cooked, it's not going to take long to warm through, so we're going to add that right at the end. You can see that's a beautiful colour now. So we shall just simmer that a little bit. Make sure we've got all the curry paste off the bottom. Just turn that up. Right. Another thing that's good to add to your curry is a bit of chopped coriander. Really goes nice with it, so we'll get that in at this stage now, and it'll add a lot of flavour. And sometimes what I do as well, just to add a little bit of extra sweetness, is a couple of teaspoonfuls of mango chutney. That goes really nice in it as well. Oh, smelling delicious. I'm looking forward to this tonight. The weather's miserable. We've had some really nice hot weather, but right now it's just complete cloudy grey. The wind's starting to pick up, temperature's dropped a little bit, and it's the ideal day for a feel-good curry. Now, as we simmer this, it'll thicken up. might have some corn flour where we can. I did have some corn flour. So let's start adding some chicken to that now. Still a lot of it left, considering that we used quite a bit in yesterday's video where I made some corn tortillas stuffed with a pesto chicken, and also a homemade barbecue sauce with some of the shredded chicken heated up and served inside a brioche bun with some coleslaw and rocket and spinach, and they were beautiful. Now I'm chopping different sort of size meats. I've got some of it I'm chopping fine and some of it I'm leaving in larger sort of chunks, just putting the knife through just to break it up a little bit. But you've got to admit that does look lovely, and that's much better than wasting that chicken. Just let that simmer away for a bit. I think we'll add a little bit more chicken in there, because we've got a lot left. Maybe a couple of larger chunks in there. There's a lot of breast meat and leg meat in this mixture. Maybe just a bit more. That's just going to warm through lovely in that. I think pepper's alright, but that does need a little bit more salt. So we'll just let that sit for a second. And what we've got to go on top of this when we serve it, I'm going to put it on some basmati rice, but we're going to drizzle a little bit of sour cream over it. Very decadent, very nice, goes well with the curry. You can use creme fraiche if you wanted to, and then I'm going to put a little bit more fresh coriander on top, and also some almonds that I've toasted, some sliced almonds. And if we had a dollop of mango chutney, that would make it perfect. It's thickening up nice now, not long. It almost smells like a Thai curry to me. So we're just going to decorate it with a couple of sprigs of coriander at the end. Now the almonds I just toasted in a dry frying pan on a low heat. Only take a couple of minutes, and you just shake them around, you know, lift them with an egg lifter or something like that, just to get coating on each side. You'll smell when they're done because you've got this lovely sort of smoky, nutty flavour in the air. But they go really nice on top of any curry, really, but especially this one. Yeah, that's lovely. I don't want it any thicker than that, really, because I want some of this juice to go through into my rice. But let's just check the beans just to make sure they're al dente. A little too much, but we're not far off. Give that another stir. That's looking good. I think we're done there, otherwise that meat's going to stew too much, so we'll leave it there. Just get a serving spoon. Okay, so I've been lazy today. I've just done a boil in the bag basmati rice. It's just been draining while we've been cooking, so it's all done perfectly. I just stick the bag over a sieve in the saucepan, just let all that liquid drain out. So we've got beautiful fluffy rice. It's not sticky, there's no moisture in it. Just give it a stir. Okay, let's plate up. Some rice on the bottom. And then some of this delicious chicken curry. And all we do is just drizzle a little bit of this on, if we can. It might have to be dolloped, but you just need a couple of little dollops of it around your curry. The freshness of it goes really well with the spices. And a sprinkling of our toasted almonds. I like the almonds, so I'm going to put quite a few on. We just finish that off with a sprig of coriander. And there we go. That's our leftover chicken bone broth chicken. Utilised wonderfully again in a delicious curry, which we've made with chickpeas and trimmed French green beans, onions, peppers, and coconut milk and a curry paste of your choice. And that is going to be delicious, and I'm looking forward to eating that. And as I say, I've got a lot to freeze there that I can just get out at will, and you know, that'll keep for a good month in the freezer in a suitable container. So I hope you enjoyed that video. I'll try and think of more things we can do with the leftover chicken, because I've got to make some more. I'm going to end up with another big batch of it soon. So give it a thumbs up if you liked it, or a thumbs down if you didn't, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon so you get notified when new video content goes up. And so until next time, I'll see you then.